Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan, and we're giving a live reaction to the Miami Dolphins and Kansas City Chiefs game that just finished up not too long ago. A lot of people weren't able to watch this game, so maybe this gives you an idea of what actually happened throughout it. It was the final score being 26-7. Kansas City Chiefs won. They overall dominated this game. Every time they had the ball, they ended up getting into the red zone pretty much. I think they had 6 or 7 red zone appearances. They scored on all of them, but a lot of them were field goals. I think 4 of them are field goals, 2 of them are touchdowns, so 6 red zone appearances. So, yeah, when they had the ball, they were getting into the red zone. That was the thing, and that was a big part about this game, is that whenever they had the ball, they were able to capitalize on points. Second thing, the play calling for Miami sucked. It was awful on so many levels. They just didn't they didn't they didn't get the main guys the ball when they had opportunities to. I mean, they try to force the ball to Tyreek a lot of felt, but you have Raheem Mostert. He was arguably the best running back in he was one of the better running backs in your conference. I think he might have led the league in rushing touchdowns. If not, he's right up there with Christian McCaffrey. And you gave him 8 carries. Him and 8 Chain almost split carries, and they weren't a lot. Like if they were like 12 and 11, that's fine, but it was 6 and 8. And Raheem Mostert averaged like 4 yards per carry. It's not terrible. You just had to get him in the ball more in open areas. He didn't do that. And for Waddle, he came back from injury, including Mostert, but they sat out for about 2-3 weeks. He only got 2 catches, and I don't think any attempts deep. Only Tyreek had the opportunity to go deep, which was also very weird to see. I didn't understand that. I didn't like that at all. How the Dolphins were doing that. A lot of checkdowns, a lot of stuff like that. And whenever they went deep, Tyreek was able to make plays. So that was their only touchdown of the day, is off of a deep pass. It was a little bit underthrown. It's actually very much underthrown. But Tyreek was able to make a play on the ball because he's one of the better receivers in the league for that purpose. I didn't understand, again, that the play calling was strange, and people were going to blame Tua for a lot of it. I still feel like Tua is a very good quarterback, but it's just a known thing in Miami. It's that for you to have a chance to win in the playoffs, if you're the Dolphins, you got to be at home the majority of the time. And that's why that game last week against the Bills was so important, you needed to win that game. You needed to win that game, and you didn't. You blew an opportunity to be able to possibly get a home span for at least 2 weeks if you're able to win. Even though the Bills might have been a tougher opponent, you've already played them, and you've been at home. You can't play in the weather that they had and expect to win if you're a Dolphins fan. You can't expect, if you're a Dolphins team, to play with the play calling that you had, and especially in the environment. You're in -4 degree weather with the wind chill in the 20s. -20s, my bad. -4 degrees, -22 degree like wind chill. That's fourth lowest temperature. That's one of the lowest temperatures in the history of NFL for a game. I think that's the 4th lowest. It's saying a lot. Whenever this football's been around for a long time. We're going back to the 50s and 60s whenever this stuff was recorded. It's pretty cold. It's very, very cold. For the Chiefs, defensively did a very good job at just keeping everything up front. And the Dolphins, with their terrible play calling, that made it pretty easy for the Chiefs to have to do what they got to do. Tua had to run a bit more than I think the Dolphins wanted them to do. But Tua just seemed to... He had some opening opportunities, but overall the secondary was able to close on them. He missed some of the time, but they really didn't give him a lot to work with. They really just didn't let them. Chiefs had an overall good defensive game. And I thought the Dolphins also had a very good defensive game for what they had. A lot of injuries. And for them to go out there and hold the Chiefs to what they were able to do, I thought it was very impressive. But in the 4th quarter, Christian Wilkins had a really dumb play. It's 3rd and 20. It's 19-7. And I think they're at Kansas City's... Kansas City has the ball inside Miami's 30-yard line, but it's 3rd and 20. Mahomes pretty much just throws the ball away, and Christian Wilkins, for no reason, decides to push Mahomes and gets a roughing the passer called, which is 15 yards, automatic first down, and then like 3 plays later, the Chiefs score a touchdown off Isaiah Pacheco. Just simple things, the simple things that like that. You messed up there. You just messed up. And Mike McDaniel's upset about the call. I get that. But it was clearly a roughing the passer. You could definitely see where the rough was coming from. And then for the Chiefs, there was a lot of drops. Not a surprise. Travis Kelce had a lot of drops, but he made a lot of pretty good plays too. You saw no Kadarius Toney, which was a good sign. You could feel them from McCole Hardman, it looked like. So all that was kind of interesting to see just who they would use. Rashee Rice got the most of everything. He could have had 2 touchdowns if it wasn't for their right tackle, something Taylor, who has like 18 penalties on the year. I think that's the most out of any lineman in the NFL, which is absurd. 18 penalties is a lot for a player to specifically have. So, yeah, Chiefs got to work on that. But Mahomes overall played a very good game with the win that they had. They held up very well. Run game was pretty solid. Pacheco and then had a good start and all that. Continued overall pretty well. Clyde Edwards-Helaire got a part of it, which was nice to see. And Butker was 4 for 4 on his kicks, 2 for 2 on extra points. Just as best as you can get for him. That's legitimately perfect. The crowd was involved. Saw some people shirtless in the crowd, which was interesting. So, yeah. But the Chiefs just won in time of possession. They had over 400 total yards. They just converted when they had to on third downs. They kept themselves manageable whenever they didn't. The Dolphins would either mess up and give them a big play or get a penalty. So, yeah. Just Dolphins, whenever they had their chances, they just couldn't make anything happen. I thought the Dolphins defense did a very good job. I thought they did good enough for them to win. Offense did not show up. They got to get guys that... I don't think Tua... first of all, I don't believe Tua is the problem. A lot of times these guys are in a lot of the times whenever the Dolphins get into the playoffs, they have a lot of injuries, even compared to normal NFL status. Like defensive guys, they were getting rookies from Stanford playing. Those aren't the main guys. They had a lot of injuries on their defense. They had a lot of injuries on their offense. So these guys weren't 100%. That's a lot compared to even what the normal NFL standard is. So that's a big thing. But these guys talking about Tua as a bad quarterback, Tua as this, Tua as that. He was an MVP candidate at one point. It's just a matter when he plays on the road, he's not that good. When he plays at home, he's a top 5 quarterback. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. He's an elite quarterback at home, but also they're very good at playing against bad teams. Very good against bad teams. Not that good against very good teams. Not that good. So I don't know how you fix that. I don't know how you fix that. Tua, his main problem is his deep ball is not great. It's not great. It's not bad, but it's not great. It doesn't have that Josh Allen, like Patrick Mahomes type of arm. But you see some other guys that don't have those type of arms, and they do solid. I don't like Lamar Jackson. He doesn't have an incredible arm, but he's very accurate. He's very accurate right now. Brock Purdy, overall very accurate. He has a lot of weapons. And yeah, these guys don't have incredible arms like deep balls, but they make it work. Why can't he? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I think it's just the environment difference or something. I can't tell fully, but I got to figure out those problems. And yeah, they might need to get a really good tight end. That's the thing. I think like Lamar Jackson has his Mark Andrews. Brock Purdy has his George Kittle. They got to get those guys a tight end that can get those solid 5 to 10 route plays. So yeah, I feel like, you know what I mean? Those 5 to 10 yard plays are pretty short, but they can get open consistently and physical, so he can go to them. I think they could get something like that. I think that'll be very beneficial. So, yeah, I just don't know where they go from now outside of that. But the Chiefs earned this game. They did a great job, and yeah, they're on to the next round. They're going to play either Buffalo at Buffalo or play the at home versus the Texans, depending on the result, on Monday, because the game got changed. The Bills and Steelers play on Monday at 4:30. So, yeah. Put in the comments what your opinions all are about this. Hope you have a great day. Stay safe, y'all, and God bless y'all.